that winter crud that won't go away, so I'm a little more manly today than usual. But thank you all for having me. I'm excited to share about mindfulness with you. It's something that I started on a personal journey. Gosh, it's probably been 2 years ago now. And I can tell just by how I feel and my interactions with others and how I feel like my life is going when I'm more active in mindfulness practice as compared to when I'm not. So if you want to go ahead and hit that next slide. So when I say mindfulness, I don't want you all to think of like hippy dippy woo woo meditation. It can go that direction if that's something you want to do. However, mindfulness can be something much more tame and practical, I guess, if you'd like to call it. And it's just really, sometimes people might do something called like a grounding technique. It's just meant to get you back into your body and into that kind of present moment and just really being aware of yourself and what you're thinking and what's going on, and working on yourself and how your body is feeling and what it's doing and what it's telling you. So you can go ahead and hit that next one. So again, like I said, being present, being aware of us. And the important or nice piece of this is it's that not being overly reactive or overwhelmed, especially in those times when you're really stressed out or your anxiety is running really high. This isn't something that you can call upon it, and it's great to call upon it at that time, but that in those times can't be the only time that you work on practicing mindfulness, because mindfulness is absolutely a skill, and it's something that can be practiced. It's something that is learned. It's something that gets better and is more automatic over time the more you use it. Go ahead to the next one. So just like I was saying, something, if you can put even 3 to 5 minutes in a day, is a really great way for you to get started. It's not something that needs to take a half an hour, and you don't need to be sitting in a room cross-legged oming with incense for a half an hour, an hour. This is something that you can work on even at small bits during your day. And again, it's just to bring you back into yourself and kind of let the rest of the world be where it is so you can be with yourself. And the awesome thing about this is it is shown to have an impact on your brain structure. Just like when we do exercises or athletes work on their different athletic skills, there's muscle memory. Well, your brain's a muscle, and so this is building new muscle memory. So as you can see on this next slide here, that top part, what do our lives look like today? We are all busy. We all have pressure from ourselves, probably more than anyone else, but pressure from others. We're all in a constant in-your-face media world, whether it's stuff we hear while we're driving on the radio, different ways that we're bombarded through social media. And with that social media and technology, I mean, even here today, it's nice to meet face-to-face, yet, and this technology is great, but we're not in the same room together. And just our feelings of anxiety and everything like that, you can see those results. We know those results. So what mindfulness does is it, again, is building your brain muscle. It will help you with focus overall. It helps with compassion and empathy, and we all know how empathy has an impact on our relationships with ourselves and with others. And mindfulness and empathy, there have been so many studies that have been showing and reinforcing, especially coming out lately, teaching this practice of mindfulness and working with preschoolers on empathy even has lasting effects and has an impact on their relationships and reductions in bullying and other mental health concerns. And so training our brains to be healthy helps us do so much better in our daily activities, our work, our personal relationships, and just being a happier and healthier person. So we go on to that next one. And so, like I said, there have been study after study showing that, and this says meditation, and this is taken from a website called mindful.org. And I would really recommend, if this is something you're interested in, to check out that site. It's got a lot of great resources and a way for you to dig in and find some more information. If mindfulness practice is something that you'd like to get into. So again, that's mindful, M-I-N-D, F as in Frank, U-L as in lamp.org. And again, it just has been shown with these brain connections and the way our minds work to have an impact on pain. I know that there are a lot of pain clinics that work on teaching their clients mindfulness as opposed to even those medications. And again, we've talked about these other things. So we can go on to the next one. So if you are interested in mindfulness, some of the basic things, again, like I said, you don't need to be in a room with your incense on the floor. You can sit in your chair. You can sit on the floor if you'd like. Just get somewhere comfortable and have some time set aside and just be with yourself. There are going to be things that are rolling through your mind, and that's okay, and that's absolutely going to happen. And it can just be, okay, I noticed that, and let it go. And continuing to bring yourself back in. And above all, in this last point, be kind to your wandering mind. This practice is not something else that we need to be harsh upon ourselves about, beat ourselves up about. There's John Kabat-Zinn is one of a big person in mindfulness, but there are a lot of loving kindness exercises or guided meditations, and just being kind to yourself and allowing yourself the time and space to learn and practice is also a very important piece of practicing mindfulness. You can go ahead to that next one. So I can talk about mindfulness. This gentleman here, I've got a TED Talk for you that I'd like to view. And he talks about taking 10 minutes, and I just want to let him do some speaking right now.
Okay. Exactly different. Exactly different. I did it on my computer, and that's all I did. Do you want to unmute? They can't hear it. Unmute it. What just happened? It's right there. Okay. I'm gonna thank you. Sorry about that, guys. That was a fear. I know, Chad, I should listen to the big tech dude about this, about showing the video. We were afraid how this would work. And I tested it, however, not on this system, that it would pick up for you guys to all hear. So, Christy, I'm really sorry about that. We'll just send out the link for folks to watch.
All right. Well, I would strongly encourage you to take the 9 minutes and I believe 36 seconds that he talks. Andy is a monk, and he talks about the practice of mindfulness, and he's not a hippy-dippy woo-woo kind of guy. No, I keep using that phrase. I might probably come up with something else, but it's one that I lean on. But take some time to listen to him about mindfulness practice. And take some time for yourself is the bottom line out of all of this. And I'm guessing most of you are familiar with TED Talks. I absolutely love them. And so I wanted to also share with you that there is an app. I don't know if you are aware of an app. So this page shows what it looks like for Apple. This is on iPad, but it should also be for iPhone. And then the next one shows what it looks like for Android. I'm a Droid user, so this is what mine looks like. And what's awesome is you can download the talks. And so you can see on the one where on the, what side is that? That's the right side. So it has my name, my list, favorites, and then downloads. It'll save directly to your phone or wherever you'd like to keep it, so you don't have to be online to watch it. And I know that I have a great amount of windshield time, and I'm guessing many of you do as well. So what I have been doing as of late, I don't watch them, but I plug in through my auxiliary and I listen to the talks while I'm driving. So instead of like the radio or other things, they're fun, inspirational talks that I would love to watch at other times, but I just wanted to share that this was an option and also something that I liked to do to get my mind thinking on, new ideas and other things to kind of also keep myself energized with just new things, other people's ideas, and something just to have to be excited about, or to think about something new, to get out of that mind space that we can sometimes get stuck in or be in a funk. So I don't know if you all have questions or thoughts, or if there's anything you'd like me to respond to or answer, I'd be happy to, but otherwise that's kind of what I put together for you all today.
Thank you so much, Christy. If anyone does have questions, you can go ahead and unmute yourselves and ask, or you type them in the chat box. And also, if you have any thoughts about any mindfulness that you might practice, we'd love to hear from you about maybe something that you do to take a break from just the stress of life and sort of get back to where you are and being present in the moment. Does anyone practice mindfulness in their free time or in their not free time?
I will share one of the things Andy talks about is how much time we allow for ourselves each morning to do our hair, to get dressed, and all of these other kind of daily activities, and how we can take 10 minutes, put those 10 minutes on your preparation list or your end of the day list, or even an intentional break at work. So again, it's also about making that time.
Right.
Well, this is Mary, and I do practice yoga regularly, and that just really helps me to calm my mind. And I do have the ability to do that sometimes in the middle of the workday, which is amazing. But I know we don't always have that time. And Christy said sometimes it's just taking just a few minutes, and even sitting at your desk, just taking a few deep breaths, and that's shown to, like 3 really deep breaths is shown to just change the way that you look at things and can approach things too. So that's just a little mini break you can take in the middle of the day too. I don't know if anybody else has any other little tricks like that they do. Everyone else is still muted if you're trying to talk, or else you're just so relaxed, or else you're not being mindful and you're doing 10 other things. I want to know who else is on their phone during this. Well, if no one else has anything to share, well, thank Christy, and I will send out the link. So if you could make a few minutes to watch that TED Talk too, it is excellent to go into that a little bit more about mindfulness. I just want to remind everyone that our day at the Capitol is at the end of February this year. We'll start at 1 p.m. We'll have a little orientation. You'll have time to talk to legislators until 4 p.m. We do have the meeting room for 3 hours this year. That was something that folks had asked for last year, so we have a little bit more time to come back and reconvene and more time to be up at the Capitol. So hopefully you'll consider that. I will send out information to everybody about that with the registration link. So thanks for considering that. I hope everyone's having a really great National Mentoring Month. We're getting some good press here for statewide attention to mentoring, and I know there's lots of things going on in everybody's communities too. So hopefully you're having a great month with that.
Great. Our next peer share call will be in February on the 9th, again at 2 p.m. And we'll get back to you about the topic for that. And then if you have any more questions, please feel free to contact Mary or I or Chad, who's also here with us today. And again, we'll be sending out a recording of this webinar after this, as well as the link to the video. So thank you everyone for joining us.